JBN, we keep you informed. St. James teen murdered. 18-year-old Cody Buchanan of Megatop in Montego Bay, St. James, was killed at his home on Saturday. According to the police, about 4:50 a.m., Buckingham was at home with his girlfriend when a man armed with a handgun pushed open his door. The gunman opened fire, hitting him multiple times, then reportedly escaped on foot. Buckingham was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police said the investigation is ongoing. Vendor shot dead as bloodletting continues in Mountain View. Traffic crawled to a snarl along Mountain View Avenue in the vicinity of Deanery Road in East Kingston as the bullet-riddled body of Trevor Beadle, popularly known as Maestro, laid in a crumpled heap. Beadle, a vendor, was attacked and shot as he rode a bicycle along Deanery Road about 7:15 Monday morning. Police report that men drove up in a white Toyota Probox motorcar and opened fire at Beadle, hitting him several times. He fell from the bicycle and minutes later he was dead. Police cordoned off the scene and the result was a heavy buildup of traffic on one of the major thoroughfares in that section of the capital city. Some residents of the community mounted a roadblock to protest the shooting, but the roadway was quickly cleared by the police. Mountain View Avenue has been under the gun in recent months following a flare-up of gang violence between gangs from the Jakes Road and Goodwich Lane communities. Both gangs were cronies, but relations have gone sour after pieces of plywood went missing from a construction site in the area. Police have maintained a heavy presence in the area, which resulted in a temporary lull in the violence. However, relations have been tense between the former allies. 5 a day, murders climb with November, tying a second bloodiest month. Despite the government's defense of its states of emergency SOEs as a success and vowing to expand its security crackdowns, 5 Jamaicans are murdered every day, with 36 homicides being recorded over the last week, according to data from the police force. Murders leapt to 1,223 as at November 30, a 1.8% increase over the corresponding period for 2018. But while the police and military have fanned out across Western and the Central Jamaica, urban hotspots in Kingston, St. Andrew and St. Catherine are experiencing a significant rise in serious and violent crimes. A review of the crime stats shows that there has been a surge in murders, shootings and rapes in 6 or 75% of Metro Police divisions. There has also been an uptick in robberies in 5 of the 8 divisions. While the security forces have clamped down on violent crime in the Kingston Western Police Division, with homicides dipping by almost 19%, East and Central Kingston have seen the significant increases. Murders in Central Kingston have risen 133%, from 15 in 2018 to 35 this year, while shootings have rocketed by almost 64%. In East Kingston, murders have climbed by more than 21% and shootings by 50%. Another major worry for the division is that 3 times the number of women have been raped this year compared to the corresponding period for 2018. Rapes have also increased in St. Andrew Central by 100%. Across the board, there is an upward trend in murders in 10 of 19 police divisions, while rape has risen in 9. The just concluded month of November recorded the second highest number of murders, 127, on par with June. The highest number of murders in 2019 were tallied in March with 134. Data show that since the start of the year, on average, every time the trigger is pulled in St. Andrew South, someone is killed. As of Saturday, the division recorded 158 murders from 158 shootings. A barber was the latest person to have been killed in that division last Friday. Meanwhile, 4 persons, including 2 shop operators and a fruit vendor, were shot and killed in St. James on the weekend. The parish, along with Hanover and Westmoreland, has been under a state of emergency since April 30. Those killed have been identified as 18-year-old Cody Buchanan, a shopkeeper of Flower Hill in Salt Spring; Leonard Mays, 32, a cook shop operator of Spot Valley District; Jason Reed, 26, a fruit vendor, also of Spot Valley, and an unidentified male believed to be in his 30s. Georgette Hastings, aunt of the slain cook shop operator, said that her nephew was dear to her. Kenroy was one of the nicest persons alive. He only lived to take care of him family, said Hastings, using May's nickname. The weekend bloodletting in the parish started on Friday in Lilliput, where residents stumbled upon the body of an unidentified male with multiple chop wounds to the neck and hand. 137 people have been killed in St. James this year, 44.2% or 42 more than at November 30, 2018. People's National Party spokesman on national security Fitz Jackson has criticized what he believes is the overuse of SOEs, which have nullified their shock and awe effect. What more evidence does the government need to be convinced that their SOE crime-fighting policy is only worsening the country's crime situation, and that there is urgent need for change, Jackson asked. Despite criticisms of the SOEs, the opposition has voted in support for 3 that are in effect covering 6 parishes and 7 police divisions. Mapen Market gutted by fire. With just 3 weeks to go before Christmas, Miss Patsy watched helplessly as the Mapen Market was transformed into a furnace. Miss Patsy, who has been selling her wares over 40 years, cried hopeless tears as she saw her stock and holiday profit turn to glowing embers. She was not alone. Dozens of others whose livelihoods were interwoven in market life were gutted as they looked on helplessly as a roaring fire engulfed the Sevens Road facility on Sunday afternoon.
Building, and I mean the entire market is on fire.
I feel it. Me just spent about $40,000. Me even have some hat that people paid on pan, she said. Firefighters fought the blaze for more than 3 hours, but they were no match for the furious flames. One fire unit tackled the blaze but ran out of water and left the scene. The fire truck returned later with reinforcements from private water truck operators, juicy parties, and Triple T's trucking, which sought to assist the crew in preventing the blaze from destroying the neighboring Mapen Primary School. Doreen Mackenzie, a vendor who has been operating in the Mapen Market for the past 16 years, said that she lost everything in the blaze. Central Clarendon Member of Parliament Mike Henry said he was awaiting an assessment of the damage before making a decision on the way forward. The MP stated that he had already had dialogue with Mapen Mayor Winston Maragh and the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development. Councillor for the Denby Division, Joel Williams, said the destruction of the market occurred at the worst possible time, when vendors would seek to tap into the Yuletide shopping season. Citizens using Indecom as a shield to abuse police. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says some citizens are using the powers of the Independent Commission of Investigations Indecom as a shield to heap abuse on members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. Chang said although a recent survey showed that respect for police officers has improved, attacks against the police in public spaces are increasing. There is a feeling out there that because of Indecom, they, the unlawful citizens, can abuse the police and get away with it. That is what is causing the problems, Chang said on Friday. Chang was responding to concerns raised by chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Detective Sergeant Patrick Rowe, who was recently quoted as saying that some police officers were afraid to carry out their duties out of fear that they could be arrested by Indecom. It's an opinion of elements of the police force, and it may have some basis in terms of practice, because Indecom was designed to deal with complaints against the police at a time when it was felt that there were too many extrajudicial activities by the police, said Chang. The National Security Minister said there is a strong school of thought that Indecom is over-exuberant in applying the law, or is perhaps excessive in applying the law, and there may be need for some intervention. Indecom was created to control police excesses, and I think the police are saying Indecom has become excessive at this point in time, said Chang. I don't want to make a judgment call, but there are certainly some concerns by the officers of the force. It is almost a reversal on the purpose for which Indecom was founded. In a bid to put a lid on the situation, Chang said he'll be seeking to convene a meeting with the leadership of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, their union, and the directors of Indecom. It is something we have to look at and see to what extent it's becoming the real problem, and to what extent we can work with Indecom to ensure professional standards are maintained, but at the same time, police can feel comfortable doing their job, said Chang. It is felt at this point that the directors of Indecom have gone the other route now, where they are being excessive in applying the regulations of the law to the police officers, continued Chang. It's an institution that is evolving, and I expect there can be discussions held to look at how it's operating. But the increased attack on the police by certain elements is of concern to me as the minister, he said. Police seized cocaine at Sangster International Airport. The Narcotics Police and the K9 Division is reporting the seizure of several packages of cocaine worth $4.7 million at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay on Saturday, November 30. Reports are that about 3:15 p.m., during a security screening, a flight scheduled to depart to the United States of America was searched, and 6 packages of white substance resembling cocaine were found in the bathroom. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure, the police said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.